Eastern Time. It's LinkedIn Live. And you know Mario from the past couple visits he's been here. I can't tell you, actually, he's number one in request after the show to say we got to have Mario back. And even today, people were promoting this because they know already who Mario is, how Mario is, and how he leaves everything better than it was before he got there. So with that, let me have Mario say hello, maybe a little brief background. But this whole show is based on comments and contribution from the audience. We're here for you, and we want to make this as valuable an hour as you can find anywhere, not just on LinkedIn. So with that, Mario, say hello to the wonderful audience we have.
Thank you, Don, and thank you everybody for joining us again with Don. This is a fantastic place to get together. I've been learning a lot. I really appreciate all your programs I've been following. You have some amazing people joining you, some amazing stories out there, some great knowledge. I really enjoy every moment. I wish I could see all of the programs every day, and I try to make my agenda working around that timing. Here in France, it's still very cold. It's still going open, but a lot of work, and I'm very busy, but very good. Enjoying life. And thank you for having me again.
Oh well, you're so right that there are so many people. Here's a gentleman from India. This is what's so great about the show. It goes everywhere because it's not the messenger and it's not where it came from. It's the message, right? Everybody wants more love, wants more kindness, wants more respect. But while we're waiting for people to do it, we can be doing it. Start with a little group on a major platform and things can change. So thank you for tuning in. We've got, I'm a Forex trader and banker from Bangladesh. Well, everybody's something and everybody's from somewhere. The big question is, where do you go from here? And Christine is here. And if Christine is here, it's already a great show in the making, because Christine, in a lot of ways, is like the third co-host because of
Yes.
all the wonderful things she contributes. And this week, Christine's going to have her first opportunity to co-host a show, which is on Saturday. And I can't wait. And Christine, you're going to find this to be really a fun experience. Wouldn't you say that, Mario?
I'm looking forward to see Christine on the show. Absolutely. I will be there. Ooh.
And even Kelly had a comment yesterday. So excited for Christine coming together and getting on the show, because it's almost like a group onto itself, co-hosts, right? And every co-host kind of sets the bar a little higher for the next co-host. And what me and Mario were talking about before we got started on today was how inspiring stories are, how you can relate to other people's lives and situations. Because when someone tells you something to do, that quote I keep saying this week, tell somebody and they forget, teach somebody they might remember, involve somebody they learn, right? And the more
Mhm.
involved you are, the more ownership you take and the more responsibility and accountability, but the more reward. So, Christine, you're in for a positive surprise on Saturday. That's all I can say. Brandy, hey guys, excited to join today. When we have words like excitement, we have lightning bolts, we've got all this to start with. It only gets better as everybody feels more liberated to share and to be empathetic towards others,
Mhm.
and that's really key. So, what really changed for you, Mario? I see you do so much for others, and you're driven by being good. What was the foundation for that?
Well, I think I need to understand what happened to me today. I need to go we need to go to understand what happened to me and my family before, what happened back then. And I think it all comes from a story of dedication, endurance, um, devotion. I think mainly and most of all, love and faith. I think that what happened, the story I will tell you now
Okay,
is that
this is everybody. Listen to this. If you listen to nothing else today, this has real value. Go ahead, Mario. Thank you.
I think that one of the biggest learnings of my life on how to set your mind, how to become that person that have endurance and dedicated, undisputable love, and it's come from my parents. My parents, they met in a concentration camp in the north of Poland. They were just kids. When the camp was liberated, they basically, for what they tell me, they look each other and say, well, we don't have nobody. What do we do? Well, let's hold hands. And they start walking. And they walk all the way from Poland all the way to France. That's months of walking. When they got there, they took a boat who took them first to Canada, and Canada said, sorry, we don't have more space for refugees. They went to America, and in New York, they say, sorry, there is no more space here. There was another vessel going to Argentina, to South America, and they managed to get into that boat. By the time that they arrived to Argentina and Buenos Aires, my mom was already pregnant. But we're talking about kids, making kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they arrived there. The story goes that they been giving the opportunity to stay in a little room where they were living. My dad started working on a little bit of repairing bicycles and motorcycles and so on. My first brother born there in Buenos Aires, and then also my older sister. And step by step, they start growing up, and my dad business started moving forward and so on. Take in consideration that my dad never finished even kindergarten. He needed to learn everything by himself. He was never losing an opportunity to read something, a newspaper, a magazine, anything. He was always with something to read in his hand when he was not busy working. My mom was older than my dad. They both passed away already. She managed to have a little first school years, and my dad managed to be a very successful man, that he maintained all of us. We are 16 brothers and sisters, so that's not cheap. We all managed to go to university. We all managed to create a good, solid ground for ourselves because of my parents' dedication. And I never saw anything that was missing anything. We have everything that we need. Maybe not everything that we wanted, but we have everything that we need. And that's something that, looking back a few years later, when I went to university and I finished university, I got married, and it was very tough for me. And I asked my dad, I don't know how you managed to do it, because I don't even have kids. I just have a wife and myself, and I find it very difficult to cover the mortgage, to have my master degree, and so on. And how did you did it? And my mom and my dad say, well, we always love each other very much and support everything. We Not saying that we never had any disagreements, but we arrange and resolve with love. Everything is possible when you put the right amount of love, the right amount of dedication, and the right amount of focus. And I think it was the biggest lesson I already received in my life, because the mindset to be strong enough to go through all the things that they went through, and to manage to be personally successful, not only with the business but also with the family, and being as free of anything, me, like myself, I've been traveling around the world, looking at and say, well, I've been having given this opportunity and the knowledge and the experience because my parents really represent something amazing. They were my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So not all heroes wear a cap. My dad didn't. My mom didn't. They just were there making things happen. And when you see this endurance on these people, my goodness. And my dad was able to talk different about different subjects. He managed to learn several languages. I personally speak 7 languages, but he speak 9. So he was really. I don't believe when people say I cannot do it is because they have a different mindset. It's because they don't want to. We can do anything we want. We can really go through anything and achieve anything we want. Just for one solid reason, because I want to. It have to come from inside. It have to be internally. It have to be emotionally. It have to be something that you are full of it, and you say, nobody, absolutely nothing, and nobody will change my mindset. I will achieve this goal no matter what. And that's when I think that's one of the little things that are missing right now, is that endurance, that perseverance, that love. Not only love for yourself, but love for the other, for your family, for the friends, for the people that are close to you. It costs nothing to be nice. It costs nothing to really have a different mindset and to be grateful all the time, because being grateful also opens another set of doors. So these levels are things of unique experiences that I learned from my parents, which I adore very much. They passed away already. Um, but the legacy that they left through our brothers and sisters, I think, is something that has to be told, have to
Mm,
be have to be expressed, have to be shared there. When you feel a little bit down and stuff, like me, it happened to everybody. Sometimes you say, "Oh my God, I have so much work. I don't know how I'm gonna handle this." I just look back and say, how
mhm,
my parents did. They are the inspiration. I go back to that chapter of my life because they were they're still part of my history, even though I was not even there yet. But they
mhm,
are the origins, they were the seeds. So I still remember what my dad said to me. My dad was very, very clear. Mario, your mind is like a farm. You decide to put there the seeds of corn or the seeds of wheat. you know doesn't matter. It will accept any type of plantation you want. What are gonna grow is what you putting on it, and then you're just gonna receive that. So if
mhm,
you're gonna end up there and sitting yourself in your hands, looking and feeling sorry for yourself, believe me, that's what you're gonna get the rest of your life. You
mhm,
need to get up, focus, and start running for it. Start fighting for yourself, loving yourself, dedicating time to yourself, loving your family, being honest, being sincere, and be passionate for anything you do. Just let your heart, explode with emotions and happiness. And I'm not saying that you will be the happiest person on the planet when you kick the corner of the bed in the morning, with your little pinky. No, of course not. But we taking the best of everything. There is always gonna be something good. When there is something bad, there will be something good on it, and there will always gonna be something bad in something good. Is he said to me, you always gonna be your only problem, and you always gonna be your only solution. And that stuck to me here. And now I'm reaching my 60 years old. In May I'm gonna be celebrating my birthday, 60s. And I tell you, I feel strong, like in the 20s. I feel happy. I can run a marathon. Well, no, I don't know about marathon, but half one, yes, I think I can do it. But I feel also very positive in my mind. I think I still a lot to give to my planet and to me and to people around. And this is the message I want to go around. If my parents could do it to little kids after what they experienced and suffered during that time, I'm sure that we can do more now that we have technology, we have education, we have all the facilities that we can have. So we have everything. So there is no excuse not to achieve the dreams and goals that we want. We have everything in the planet to be absolutely successful, to be perfect, to achieve more. If we will be living in a critical country where the war is raining, and earthquakes happen, like sadly happening in Turkey and Syria, well, I will understand how difficult it could be to start from there. But even though, if you have the right mindset, if you have your heart in the right place, and you believe it first, and you make a conscious decision, yes, I can do it, everything is possible. There is no limit. You can become unstoppable. That's what I think, really.
Well, you think a lot and it's all very important. and valuable. The message you sent today was one of survival, success, inspiration, and it's the will of the people that makes everything happen. If you've got the will to do it, they say if your why's big enough, you'll always figure the how to. If you got a big enough reason, it gets you over the self-pity, the feeling sorry for yourself. Time waits for nobody, and no one's guaranteed tomorrow, right? So it's put right in front of everybody. You wake up, what do you want to do? And if you don't want to do, what do you want to feel? Right? And if you don't want to feel, where do you want to go? And those are decisions you make every day. You go right, you go left, you go forward, you go backward. And I think Mario's point is you're going to have good days with some bad, you're going to have bad days with some good, but one day rolls into another and gives you today, right? And take all the lessons, take all the joy, and put together another package for yourself. When you're a kid, your parents pack you a lunch when you go to school, right? And my mother used to pack me a shopping bag. I'd have 3 fruits, everything. Like she only missed the refrigerator. And that's the same thing. Every day you wake up, you pack yourself your lunch that day, right? You decide what's going to nourish you, what's going to make you happy at lunchtime. What joy can you bring? You don't have to wait on others. And believe me, others aren't looking for you. So while you're looking to get rescued, they're not looking to rescue you. And if it happens, it's going to happen anyways. Make it happen, not wait for it to happen. And, the other beautiful thing about this is Mario and all the people on the right here, Kelly and Christy and Christine, they are attracted to this, and there's more people like us. As much as I'd like to think Mario's special or anybody or myself, there's millions of people who have stories. There's millions of people who want what people want, but they can't find a safe place, somewhere comfortable to get together, right?
A healing place.
Yeah, because the noise, the this, the that, you're on defense half of the time. Half of it is protection. That means half of the opportunity just disappeared, right? If you get away from needing protection, if you're in a safe, healthy place where people are inspiring, are optimistic, and there's nothing wrong with tragedy unless it's just tragedy, right? Tragedy with triumph makes the tragedy better and the triumph more important. I was just reading this book today, and it was kind of interesting, and it was about comparative psychology. And they had a study where they have 2 buckets of water. One is hot, one is pretty cold, and they stick each hand into it. And then they have a bucket with just regular water. The hand that was cold feels it as being warm water. The hand that was warm feels it as cold water, right? So influence around you and where you're coming from, where your thinking is coming from, can be adjusted by more people having more in common and sharing it. The story Mario just shared not only got heard here, but will be heard by people we'll never even meet and never even know what it did. And if it just moves you a little bit, and sometimes a little bit is all it takes to get you in a better direction. And if it gives you a support group, people that at 11 a.m. Eastern time every day, there's an hour here, right? It's like a refuge if you want to, or a tune-up. It's like, in racing, you always got pit stops, right?
Correct.
And pit stop, you fuel up, you get new tires, and you get back on the track. Let me just share a little bit of what's coming in. We've got Christy says, love does actually conquer all. Ambimbola is here. She has been here every day since she was introduced to this, and she's from Nigeria. So we've got people all over the world. Mario, you're just sharing your itinerary. Where are you going the next couple of weeks?
I'm traveling to Peru. I'm going to Peru first, then I'm going to Chile, and then I have another 2 week and a half in Costa Rica, all for business. I wish it will be for pleasure, but I will definitely take some time to taste the local flavor and and see catch up with some old friends from there.
Well, and you've traveled what, 90 countries you were telling me?
Yeah, so far, yeah, I've been over 90 countries. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Someone as worldly, but just as down home, right? You can go all around the world and still be happy wherever you're at, And it's again, it's all mindset. So what do you learn by traveling around the world and meeting all different kinds of people?
Oh my goodness, I think that one of the biggest learnings I can have is the respect has to be the solid base of any relationships. What is good for you, it can be very totally wrong for me, depending on where we come from. Cultural encounters and cultural encounters, I will call that. It is extremely important to open your mind to start seeing people for what they are. Once you get to a certain places, you start getting this aha moment of why they do what they do. Sometimes, perhaps in our own culture, we cannot even understand the basics of why they do what they do until you actually get there and you see the whole picture. Because from the point that we are, we only see the trees, we don't see the forest. And when you travel, it's just it's for me, not traveling is like you keep reading the same page of the same book over and over and over again. But when you travel, you have this amazing opportunity to turn the page to a new adventure. Let's call it the Indiana Jones adventure. You start going to different places and say, "Wow, what is next? What is tomorrow? What I gonna encounter? What type of flavors and food or people?" And every single individual along the way, doesn't matter if it's the tuk-tuk driver in Bangladesh, or if the cook, the street cook person that will give you a wow, interesting, I don't know what type of food it is. But once you encounter these people and you let them tell you their story, that becomes your own journey. Sometimes the whole point of traveling is not to get there, is the journey getting there that is actually traveling. That's when you start learning the ways to, when you go from the transition from your comfort zone of your home to be able to go to another places, and start seeing people and start knowing people and enjoying what they do. One of the biggest takings that I take is, like I said, respect is very important. I have a story for you. For example, in Japan, they are very, very, very polite, extremely polite people. And I had some time there that I had business to do. And the people that I met, they were so polite. They're so polite that I was feeling like, oh my God, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm acting like I'm a posh guy or something. And no, but they were so gentle, so polite with everything they do. From the moment that I arrived to the office until they left me at the airport, there was like I was royalty. And you know what? They master something that I now in business utilize very often. Make people feel unique. Make
Hmm.
people feel that they have a value. Make people that they are really something. Why? Because we all want to be validated. We all want to be the main person of the movie. We all want to be, the in the focus of the attention. It's a natural thing. We are humans, and I tell you that we cannot do. My cat. We cannot do this without other people. And when you see how they treat you in a way which is respect. They feel you good, and I learned that from them, and it really helped in my business in a day-to-day and in my day-to-day too. You make people feel valued. You respect them. You treat them good. You make them feel like they are there. If I'm with you right now, let's say, or we're having a conversation in a restaurant or in a bar, and I pick my phone and I start looking at the emails or whatever, it means that I'm not really quite there with you. I'm respecting you. I'm not. If I go out for dinner with you or for a drink, I'm with you. That's what I went out. No, to
Hmm.
take the phone and start looking at the messages or things that I could do later. If I don't have that time, I will say, Don, I'm sorry, but I really don't have the time. I will not be able to be with you now. And
Hmm.
then I gonna spend my time later. So this is things that I learned when I was traveling. People, I also learned that the people with the less things, people were in difficult situations, usually are the people that share the most. Very
Hmm.
interesting. That was something that I saw, you know, met people on the rail station while waiting for rail for the trains and so on, and there were some people homeless there and so on, and then you start talking to them, and, well, what is wrong? And they were really willing to help and share and tell you, oh, you need to go here, you need to go there, you need to see, and they were providing more friendly advice of the local flavors and so on, because nobody noticed them. They become like invisible, invisible people, and that's that I all are learning through the travel when I start seeing all these people from different cultures that they teach me a lot during the moments that I was going from one place to another. It is a remarkable thing when you feel welcome without people without even knowing you. Sometimes you don't even speak the language, but we all speak a common language that we need to practice more, and it's the smile. A
Hmm.
smile is so contagious. It's so easy to translate in any language, and you will be welcome anywhere you go just by smiling. If you go to China, you may not speak Chinese, but you say hello, and you smile, people will smile back to you. It's a normal, it's a natural thing, it's a human thing. And if someone doesn't do, maybe that person doesn't have a great day, but you give them an opportunity to make it a great day. Because we all carry our luggage, right? We all carry a baggage in the pack, and we don't know how our days go from one thing to another. So yeah, traveling is an amazing thing. I love it. I love from the moment that I get up from the house and I go full of excitement. I bring an empty bag and I come back with full of memories and stories. I fill it up with that. I don't like to collect items. I'm pretty minimalist in that type of things. I have whatever I need only, but I prefer to collect memories and emotions and histories, and remember the time that I was having a nice coconut juice, under a palm tree in Colombia or things like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that through traveling.
Well, you give so much because you're able to appreciate so much and retain so much. Everybody's still part of the same world as everybody else. Everybody has opportunity. And now with online, you don't have to get on a plane to be in India and see what's there, to meet the people, right? Even here, you can meet everybody from around the world. And I'm so proud to have Mario and honored on the show, but more importantly, aligned with what the message is and what we're doing here. And we're going to be looking to maybe strategically partner in some ways to expand this and help more people with a message. And, the other thing is give other people their voice, give other people the opportunity to tell their story. And you feel justified when you open it up and you honor it, right? Because unless someone tells the story, it doesn't continue, right? The last person who stops, that's the end of the story. The person who takes it and then actually takes it and maybe adds a little of themselves to it, right? And eventually maybe sees themselves in it. And then at that point, can now become a new reinvented person. Everything Mario said, everybody can believe if they choose and act on. And I'm always like, whatever's best should go next. It doesn't matter pride of authorship. Whatever is better is the next thing that people should be focused on. And being better for yourself, to Mario's point, ripples through everybody around you. Like Mario said, a smile. Well, laughter is even more contagious. Have you ever seen yourself around people and they're belly laughing and they're rolling over and you don't know what they're talking about? They could be in a totally different language and you can't help but laugh, right? So here's the key. You got to be the spark that builds the fire. Everybody's got a fire inside of them waiting to get lit. And to Mario's point, as far as respect, very few people get it. Everybody assumes they don't need it or they got enough of it, but that's just the opposite. The reason why people are coming here is it's the opposite that what's going out in the crowd. You know, like I say, in LinkedIn population, 80% is 18 to 34. 80% here is more like 40 to 50 and up. Why? Because I think to Mario's point, old school is now getting recognized because most people don't know protocol. Most people don't know how to walk into an office, how to walk into a dining room, how to shake hands, how to greet somebody, how to bring flowers or a little gift. I mean, it's those little touches. And Mario probably knows better than anybody else because he's involved with a luxury cruise line. Why don't you share what you learned from being part of that group?
Oh wow, it's an amazing type of word. Some of the, to not to get into more detail, but some of the clients that they are extremely um, rich, and of course the expectation of the idea of luxury is beyond of, it was beyond of my understanding when I started in this business. And there is not too big request for them. It's just I want this, and just happens, right? So obviously, when they go into these holidays, they do expect, number one, they expect to be safe. Of course, we all like that, but the level of expectations is at a different level. But I also saw, and Don, I will tell you this one from the bottom of my heart. I met someone that was so poor that the only thing that this the gentleman had was money. Honestly, it's the only thing that he had, because everything around him, he was walking around with a little cloud, and rain, and everything was bad for him. And I was thinking, wow, the money that this gentleman have, he can may probably pay the the international bank debt of Nicaragua or Costa Rica, because he had astronomical amount of money, but he was so unhappy for everything. And I had the opportunity to actually have coffee with him. And from every second word, there was something negative, and I understood that there was something negative. And then he was actually a kind of puzzled. Said, "Well, Mario, you always look like very bubbly. What is wrong with you? You don't see life like I see it." And I said, "Well, what you see out there, we were in Tahiti." And he said, "Well, I see a lot of motorcycles passing by, and these people with the coaches, with the horses, just bringing people that made it smell horrible from the pony poo and all that." And I said, "Well, you see, that's a way to see it. I see a great opportunity to jump in one of that horse cars and go around the island, enjoy the beautiful views, because I don't know when I'm gonna be back here, and I got this opportunity to enjoy all these palm trees and the sunshine and the beers and the ula ula ladies, with all these beautiful things. I don't know. I'm in paradise, for I mean, at least for me." And then that he said, that's the reason some people live in a dream world, and some of us live in a reality. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Don, what's happened, I think, and going back to happiness, is a lot of people carry a big luggage, a big sentimental and internal luggage. Many things happen in life that can make someone's heart dry and black. Um, Also come from all the programming that we have through life, through family, through events. And I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he have a different view, regardless of the luxury that he could afford. And he nothing was a problem for him. He can decide to be there or not to be there, or to get anything he wants, because the money was there. Money was not a problem, but that was the only thing that he has: money, no happiness. When it comes to what the luxury ambience is, well, it's very relaxed. Um, it is a very laid back. I'm sure that there have to be a lot of work behind that achievement. Some of them I understand it comes from legacy. Mom, dad left something behind, and so on. Because there are some very young young people, and sadly, that young people that are ultra rich, they forgot manners. They forgot how to say, like you say, how to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, how to say the magical words. And I tell everybody there are two magical words cannot be missing never, and they are please and thank you. That magical word has to be in everything that we ask to people around there, regardless. It's not because the other person is older or younger. So no, it just they have to be there. It has add manners, and some of the young generations, and in some reason, that's why this that we do it right here is a great opportunity, because we can bring them into the awareness uh, nuclear. We can start bringing to the awareness to start teaching them how important is to be polite, how important is to have a really high value of being human. Money will come and go. The day I die, I take nothing. I just gonna go exactly how God brought me to this planet. Yes, it is nice to have money. If I like to live comfortable. I don't buy nothing extra that I don't need. I just want to be comfortable. If there is I need to go somewhere, I go. But I think it's important for new generations to understand how important is to understand that it's not all about money. And we are a generation, we seeing a generation of look at me, the selfie type of generation, when they just like to show as much as possible because they need validation. And they get angry if they don't get a heart. If you give them a like, they get angry, say, oh, why you give me a like? Why you don't give me a heart? Because they all need that type of validation. And I think the root cause of the problem comes from us, from parents, from grandparents, that we focus so much and try to give them all they wanted, that we forgot to teach them what is the essentials of life, the mindset of love yourself, respect each other, be kind with yourself. Sometimes they're not even kind with themselves because they talk back about themselves. Oh, how stupid me. No, that's not allowed. You cannot talk back to yourself, never. There is a lot of people out there that are willing to talk bad about you, for free. So don't do it yourself to you. So all that kind of things, I think we forgot to teach our generations to be grateful for what they have, for the studies, for the opportunity to go to Harvard or to Cornell. The For me that was a wow thing going to Cornell. I never, when my dad say, where do you want to study, and I throw it out there and say, well, I would love to go to Cornell University. He said, okay, apply. If you get it, you go. I'm like, what? If that really happened, then I went to take my master in Italy, in Bologna. My dad said, when do you want to take your master? He said, oh, I would love to go to Italy, but I don't know. Okay, apply. If you get it, you go. That was, for me, was a spoil. So I value that, no, for that, but he made me pay for things. He made me see the value. He told me, I give you the studies, but you need to work for your food, and you need to work for your apartment. You need to pay for that. So I needed to do something for my own good, not everything just given there in a red carpet like it's happening now. And and I must say I am guilty in part on that situation, because with my kids in the beginning, I was also going through the same. Oh, I want to give them everything they want, until I realized, they say, hey, hold it. I'm not creating the right citizen of this planet. I'm making a mistake here. They need to understand, that everything have a value. No a monetary value essentially, but there is a particular value. There is a cause and effect, and we cannot just forget that. Yes, things will happen, and will happen as we talk that after winter, the spring will come. We know that for sure, but it has to be clear for them, for our new generations, that they can utilize you, this group, anyone that they of our age, to bring you a clarity of how life truly is.
Mm-hmm.
To see it with a different pair of glasses, when it's not all sunshine and flowers. Because when the problem comes, when they really go through a crisis or a problem, they don't know how to handle it. because we've been giving everything there in the plate in a red carpet. And then they that's when the marriage broke so early. You notice there is a lot of people divorcing very early. They get married only a year, two, maybe three. Why? Because they could not communicate to each other. They didn't really understood the essence of love.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Not being able to communicate with love and with patience, and being able to accept my partner in a way that that individual is from the heart out, then there is no love. It's just a swift commitment. Oh, I like you, I like you too. Oh my god, what a nice car. Can I you take me for a ride? Oh yeah, let's go. And then zoom, boom, married.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And this is what we have here, a perfect opportunity in our group to start also showing that to the new generations.
Yeah, I think I mean, you just have so many nuggets of wisdom, and to Christine's point here, I have a hard time to find a show, but I figured it out kind of now. It's a support group like you've identified, but it can lead to opportunities if you don't try. We share ourselves here and thereby attract opportunities. I think that's so vital, Christine, and it kind of mirrors what Mario was saying. Is if your voice is true, it tells more about you than any kind of credential, any kind of accomplishment. People want to know who they're dealing with. And I think to Mario's point, uh, you get what you give, and everything you have, you can't take for granted, right? People acquire something and they leave it alone and they move to something else. If you don't, you can't have like a dog and say, okay, for a couple of days I won't feed it. Somehow it'll get by and I'll make sure it doesn't starve. Well, if you take that rule to anybody who you care about, you got to be their big fan every day. You got to do more. And to Mario's point, as far as serving people, just a thank you, a please goes so much further, because what it does is it acknowledges and it also respects, and when you ask for permission, it's easier to get something. When someone opens a door, you don't jump through the window, right? You
Mhm.
walk through the door. And I think old school and what we're bringing is things that are timeless. Relationship building, respect, gratitude. People don't change like technology. It may take 20,000 years to get another finger. That's how slow we evolve, but technology changes by the second. We have to be more resilient. We have to get stronger, not weaker, and turn things upside down. Because if it's not working this way, maybe it's working this way. Kelly says yes with a big Mario and exclamation points. Linda, uh, yeah, sorry. Okay, laughter builds our body and serotonin levels. A great thing to do. Find ways to laugh when under stress. Well, this just validates it and questions yourself, right? If that people say this is the answer, if someone gave you a pill and said this could do this, you swallow it, right? Because it's
Correct.
easy. When someone says change a behavior, adjust a schedule, that becomes a little bit more challenging. Brandy says luggage that they weren't meant to carry, we have to make a decision on what to carry and what to leave at the carousel. You're so
Bravo.
right. It's you choosing. The game is between you and yourself, right? And you could be your best friend or your worst enemy. If you were taking a trip, who would you take with you? Your best friend or your worst enemy? And people talk to themselves in ways they would never think of talking to others. They'd be ashamed of themselves, right? And you got to ask yourself, what does it mean? Where's this going? Sometimes when I don't understand, I just say, what if we press the fast forward button? Where are we going to be if we keep taking this road? And once I see where we're going to be, there's a chance not to get there, right? There's a chance to put it in neutral or put it in reverse. You got gears, and I think the more people hear sincerity, right? Everybody listening to Mario's story know it's true. You couldn't make something like that up, right? And one story now can change 400 lives of the people who watch it today, and who knows who will watch it this will be a legacy, right? And maybe it'll encourage people to tell their story or at least acknowledge their story. You got to
Mhm.
acknowledge your story and respect yourself and your story before you even think of telling it. And a lot of people have stories they're ashamed of, but that's a learning experience, right? Not every, you learn more, I'll tell you, on the way down than you learn on the way up.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I
Because
think
on the way up, you think it's you. You think you can throw lightning bolts out of your fingers, right? But on the way down, you're scratching your head like, how could this happen? How could this happen to me? And what you find is me is too big of everything you're thinking about, right?
absolutely
When you can think we instead of me, and you can help other people. Poonam's here from India, wonderful attorney. Uh, we've got Abimbola. People like it when they feel valued and appreciated. Well, as you feel, people like you feel. And if you want to get a head start, find a way of bringing a smile. When I was in the retail business, I had a national chain of stores at one point. I always told everybody, make a friend, then make a sale. But make the friend first. You're here all day. They're here for 10, 15 minutes. Where's your rush? Right? You got
correct.
nothing but time. And when the customer leaves, you got nothing to work with, right? So why not say, where'd you come from? I always said, find something they're really proud of. If they pull up in this beautiful truck that's all shiny and got all the equipment to it, you got to say, hey, tell me about that truck. I think it's so cool. Or you got a belt buckle, right, from the rodeo or something. And you say, let me know about it. Because what happens is the curtain comes up. When someone comes in, they're defensive. They're like watching out who's around me. And the last thing you ever ask somebody is, what can I help you with? Right? Because you're going to get, I'm just looking. Right. And how do you go back and say, what else? What's the best thing is, thank you for coming here. I used to say, we have a rule here. And the only rule is, if you come here, take your time and enjoy yourself. And if we can help you, we will. And that was it. You left people alone and they understood you're friendly. And what I also did at the very end, after the sale, I would throw something in, never before, because I never wanted to make it part of the deal or I'll be making deals forever. But I'd say,
Correct.
hey, spent a lot today. You're a great guy. Let me give you some air hose with that compressor, you know, and really love having you. Well, if you do better than everybody else who they're used to, you're going to get top of mind awareness. And those are things. It's always good to wear a smile. It has advantage and health benefits too. There's a rule in sales that they used to have when they had all these telemarketers. They'd have mirrors in front of everybody. And they said, if you're not smiling, you shouldn't be talking.
Mm.
Because when you're smiling, it transfers. You're into service and helping others. How is this applied to your career and your viewpoint, Mario?
I'm a great believer that business itself is highly emotional, and a lot of people have a trouble with that concept. For me, it's not business to business or is or business to person. For me, is human to human. Once you get to know each other, it's easier when people trust you, when people really feel like they can trust you. They will be able to loose it up on their expenses or in their purchases decisions. So it's easier to say, okay, the business and the way I see when I do business with people, I have to try to get at that same frequency. Being able to say, okay, you know what, I want to sell something, or I have a particular idea that I need to sell, maybe not for exchange of money, but for exchange of a service, or to put my project forward. Number one is to gain that trust. Trust is very important. Once you trust the person, I can move forward into the rest of the arena. Also, I tell my team members and my managers, I tell them, look, forget about selling. This is not about selling. This is about creating an emotional experience, a connection with people. Why they will buy your product? No, because I can buy a phone from anywhere pretty much. I can buy a phone now with many different brands that are very equal, and some of them are lower price. So I really have a lot of choices nowadays in the market for everything, from buying something to cleaning products to buy food or to buy cars. You can buy a good Toyota Prius that will give you a good energy supply because it's a hybrid and so on. And maybe you're gonna pay a lot of more money for another brand, European brand, but they're pretty much the same nowadays. So why should I be attached to a brand? Why should I be attached to a product? Why should I be attached to a company? Is only, in my view, like I tell my leaders or my company, I say, why we do it is because we need to create that connection where people feel that they belong to the brand. The employees needs to love the brand first before the customers love the brand, because if my employees or my team members, they got so passionate about the history of our company. Our company is a very young company. This one is only 50 years company. In that 50 years, they went from zero to wow. Now we have 17 ships, luxury ships, and with helicopters and all the toys that you can imagine. And if my employees, my team members, they do not understand the legacy, what's happened, that history from zero till 2023, they don't belong here. They
Mm,
need to know. They need to be part of the history. They need to be emotionally involved. They need to have that sense of belonging. Because what the whole point is that the customers see what you do and how you do it with so much passion and so much energy that they will go home and they say, I'm home, but I need to plan my next vacation there because I want to go there and see that again. And they will
mhm,
tell their friends, they will tell their family members, they will tell everybody, you need to come with me. You need to go and see Mario working. Come on, let's go. And that's why I'm very, very happy. I'm very proud of my job delivery. I don't like to mediocrity. I don't have time for mediocrity. Not
mhm,
for me, not for my employees. I prefer to someone tell me, Mario, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like do it. Perfect, perfect. We shake hands and I find somebody else. But when someone tell me I will try, I start getting, oh, wait a minute, you will what? Yeah, you
mhm,
will try. No, there's two options here. Or we do it and we do it perfectly right, or no, I don't want to do it. Why? Because when we try things, we're not totally sure that we want to do it. We're not totally involved. We're not totally engaged. We're not totally dedicated to deliver a wow factor. That has to be in everything that we do, from our houses cleaning, which I love to cook, for example. I'm the cooker of the house. I really enjoy cooking. I don't have much time, but on Saturday and Sundays, I'm my family say, okay, to the kitchen, because I enjoy doing my cooking. And of course, I really enjoy it and I try to do it the best possible way. So when they see the decoration, they see the flavor and stuff, they say, oh, thanks God it's Saturday that you can do that. And I get proud because it give me the next push for the next weekend. I say, okay, what I do when I do next weekend,
mhm,
and that's what I expect from the other people that work with her, because I also respect them. I also add value to them. I also listen to them. I try to understand what is their challenges, what they need, what tools they need from me as their leader to be able to deliver a sensational luxury level job. So when it comes to what we can achieve, going back to the beginning of this conversation today, which I really enjoy very much, Don. I love to do this with you because you have a way of doing things in a sensational way. That's why I really connect with you. But like we spoke this early in the conversation, we can do anything we want, absolutely anything that we put our mind into it. If we set our mind to it, we can do anything. We managed to put a rocket in the moon to the second. We calculated to the second. If humans can do that with the technology that we have back then, what else can we achieve? And if you see everything that we see, it was at one moment in time, it was an idea, it was a thought. It was someone thought about it, and they created a headphones, they created a mobile phone, they created a car. Everything that we see, so that means that everything that we actually see and we can touch, it was at one moment in time, it was an idea. So it was energy. It was just an imagination. So they managed to translate. What was this guy that say? I like to I like to dream my paint because I like to paint my dreams. I love that one. So
Hmm.
that's we all, you, me, everybody that is watching right now, we managed to convert our ideas into something physical, something tangible. So that means that whatever is here is possible. We just need to decide consciously and deeply, yes, I want it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna deliver the best of me. And you know why? We need to deliver the best of us every day, and every day doesn't matter. There is no New Year or Sundays or birthday day. I know I'm not doing it because it's Sunday. No, every day we need to deliver the best of us for one reason, because we don't know if there is a tomorrow. Tomorrow is just pure fate. We have
Hmm.
faith in God, or whatever God means for any of us, that tomorrow we're gonna wake up. In the moment I put the alarm tonight when I go to bed, it's pure fate. I don't know if I'm gonna open my eyes. I don't know what's gonna happen. So my only opportunity to make my dreams reality is the right here, right now. Is this moment. Is this moment when we can share with the people that are looking at this program, and with the new generations, how important is not only to feel complete because I managed to do the things right, but to leave a legacy, to leave
Hmm.
something. Be recognized by excellence. When you people look at you and they hear your name and say, "Ah, of course I know Mario," and they can right away describe the qualities of Mario because I'm dedicated to bring my own brand. It's like I having the Nike brand. Now I have my own brand, Mario Alberto. This is my brand. This is me. I walk on the path of integrity. I pray to the Lord all the time. Please take me away from any temptations and any bad thoughts. Give me the direction so I can always walk in the right path, because it's also very difficult. Sometimes you get tempted to have these negative thoughts. I say, no, 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 what I mean, let me take this out away. Let me take it out. So your own brand, creating your own brand, living today, because it's the only moment that we really have, and delivering excellence is a way of living. It's not a choice. It should be the way of living. There is no should be no other way. And if we do that, it will not be so many issues around the world. People will respect each other. Wars will not be so often. I'm sure that neighbors will get along better. Families will spend more quality time when people are alive and not crying when they're actually dying.
Hmm.
All that moments will be more, we will cherish more life as life. We forgot to live life. And that's one of the biggest problem I see.
Yeah, and you say it so well, and you have a brand, and hopefully today and other times this really expanded its reach, amplified its message, and that's what's so important is technology changes, and when it changes, if you can integrate that in your overall uh, who you are and adapt it with it, now you have so much more strength and power. And then when you come together with people like yourself and you do it in a synchronized way, right? You couldn't run a ship with one person, right? If
Mhm.
everybody's not doing their job, the ship doesn't maintain, right? Or works poorly.
Yeah.
They say live every day like it's your last because one day it will be. And
You
if
will.
one person had a day left, you wouldn't be looking at your bank account. You wouldn't be thinking about next week's dentist appointment. You'd be thinking, I got one day, right? You would probably want to be with the people you love. You'd probably want to share your love with them. You'd probably want to say goodbye as if you're never going to see them again.
Mhm.
And then you wake up the next day and you greet them like you never thought you'd see them again. And you live that day with gratitude, with love, because it serves you, right? If that was your last day and that was your wish, why not make it every day? right? It couldn't hurt. How could you ever say, I love you more than I could say, right? How many people hear that? And if you say it to everybody you love, everybody feels the love, and then they are motivated to, what duplicates through people. So I know this hour was like 20 minutes. We got the fastest hour on LinkedIn Live. And, the smile, the presence, and what I learn every day from everybody. This is not just co-hosting, it's co-coaching, right? If this was just me and Mario being a therapy session where we're just trading, and at the end we say, well, hey, it's like you put your stuff on a table and I put mine, and we mix it up and say, make your best out of what we got here from both of us, right? It's like, come into my closet. If it fits, wear it, and that's what we can do as a group. And that's what the next step is application. Everything we're talking about, mindset, is so valuable. But without best practices and then without application, your enthusiasm will decrease as your results come in, or increase as your results come in. But also, when you feel confident, when you feel powerful, when you feel empowered, it shows. Like I say, everybody hears your music before they hear your words, right? And if you're jumping up and down, happy, excited, laughing, smiling, they have to pick it up. And the other way, if you're down and out and you're like a flat tire, people are going to feel the same way. So I want to thank everybody. Just final comments. I know it's kind of top of the hour. Hi, Christine. Hey, Kelly. Here we go. Yes, before having places like this, many had no way to be heard and help others. Thankful for all ways to reach each other and help each other learn, grow, and feel not alone. And others have made it through issues as they can too. And that's so beautiful, Linda. And you're here pretty much every day too. And you know what it says is the money is stuff people grew up thinking would be the answer. And, even like you talk about poor countries, I've been in places like Thailand, and the poorer the country, the happier the people. They're happy with little things. They're happy with just the moon, the stars, the land, right? Because that's all they have, but they make the most of what they have. And this is only going to grow because, what's interesting, everybody found ways to save time. Before the internet, you had to travel, you had to meet in person, and you had to call people up and research names and numbers. Now we got all these time-saving devices, and people have so less time because now they decided to go with the devices instead of themselves, instead of using them, right? They're being used by them. And I think the key word is discipline. You got to know when to turn the thing off. You got to know when to turn yourself on. And, there's a saying, pay yourself first, right? So if you make $1, take the first 15 cents and put it off to the side and work with the 85, right? Because if you pay everything else, and at the end of the day, you paid everybody and you got nothing, that doesn't work for sustainability. So anyways, we can talk a lot of Poonam subjects. Good luck and good morning, Kelly. Every purchase is based on emotion, not logic. And, I've dealt with so many people, and the people who came to sell me on price never sold me. I was more important, it was more service, more integrity, more trust. A single transaction cannot make up for a long-term relationship. I had something come up and had to miss a bunch. We'll watch the replay. Not sure I can be here tomorrow, but we'll see you Saturday. Well, that's hopeful because you're the co-host, Christine. Rest up. Kelly, great hour, Dama. My heart is smiling. Well, Kelly, you bring so much joy. You really do. And what I'm so proud of is so many people who would have been undiscovered or unidentified. And so many people are bursting with ability and are waiting for someone to offer them an opportunity. Right? How many times were you lucky enough, or I lucky enough, that someone decided to invest in me knowing they weren't going to get in return what they're putting out, but somehow did it anyways. And it made me want to do it. Yes, giving every day for God to guide and use it and love having communities and joy like this and group. Well, if it's good for you, it's good for people like you. And the way this is going to grow is share it. If you got something that's really healthy and happy, that's the number one thing you should be sharing with your family and friends to get them healthier and happier. And now your life will be better when their life gets better. right? Just like the contagion. Turn a sour person into a happy person, and now you've just doubled your benefit. You won't have to service them, and they can service you maybe a little bit better. So with that said, final goodbyes, Mario. Loved having you again. Can't wait to have you back.
Thank you very much. God bless everybody. I have a phenomenal weekend, and I hope to see you all in Don's show. You need to be part of this. So I can't wait to see when you are here sitting in the hot chair with Don. Yay!
Mario, you're missing. You should got to be on Madison Avenue. I mean, you should have been a Super Bowl ad, really. So thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have Kelly as the co-host, and then Saturday is Christine, and then Sarah Dawkins is back on Sunday, and then Gretchen is here on Monday. We got a dream team that's really finding its groove. So thank you so much for making this what it is. And we're just in first gear. Wait till you see what's coming up. So thank you very much. Yeah, exciting. Hard to sleep. Can't wait to wake up. Talk to you later.